Hello, 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 and welcome to the stream. It's me, Wordy Girl, and I am joined here today with an awesome content creator named XtianNinja. Ninja, can you hear me? Oh no. I can't hear you. You're muted or something. Oh, did I mute you? Hold on. Oh no. Because I can't hear you at all. Let me see. Can you hear me? Yes, you can. Okay. All right. Hello. Can you talk again?
Hello, test 1 2. Hi.
Okay,
This is
I'm so
Christian
sorry.
Ninja. Am I able to be heard?
Yes,
You
I
let me
can
know
hear
when I
you.
can stop talking. Okay.
Yeah.
Can everybody else though? This could be a fun one-way conversation that you could just like, I don't know, I could pantomime my side if it would help.
Yeah, it does look a little bit frozen on my end. I don't know. Do you have the stream up in another tab? Can you see if
I
you're
do. I
looking
do.
next to
I am
yourself?
looking down very suspiciously, like as though I just done something wrong.
Oh no. So it is not okay. You look. It looks like you're back to me, but you're very glitchy.
I will sit like this and I'll make sure that I look at the camera for at least one frame so that I get
No.
like, how about that? Is that better? No? That does it
All
look
right. There's
shifty?
something on my end. I need to. It's probably too much bandwidth or whatever going on.
Got, you got the, oh, there. See, now I look weird. Why can't it never be a good clip? Like, I just want one good frame.
Oh man. Okay. What can I do with your control VLBS?
You could try lowering the resolution of the of
Of
whatever,
the browser
so that
source?
way it comes in a little bit slower. But that I don't know if that'd work if just in the browser source. I'm on an ad now.
Oh no.
Yeah, ads. Am I right?
Well, maybe it would have been better for. Oh no. The whole thing is freezing. Maybe it would have been better for us to do it through Discord.
Isn't that funny? Like we in Taco we do this collab once a month, and we have it's always the same thing. It's like, man, do we use Discord because it'll work, or do we try to do this other thing because it's better? Like everybody gets alerts, and it's actually kind of cool the settings. But if it don't work, doesn't matter how cool it is.
Exactly. Um yeah, so what I want to do is it possible to just have you call me on Discord instead and I can try to make that work just to see if it'll work.
Sure. You want me to close this window?
You can. Yes.
All right.
All
I'll be
right.
back in a second.
See you in a soon. Oh no, wait. I have to actually remove from the screen.
Test 1 2. Hello.
Hello. All right. Let me. I'm gonna put some of this camera on the top. Sorry to anybody watching. Um, I need to. And then I X'd out the other thing without actually, ending the stream, which I don't know what that's going to do.
Well, now you just confused Twitch altogether. It doesn't know what to do with itself.
And I
Let's tell you what.
cannot get my
Once you
bandwidth
ask me,
back.
nobody can hear me at this point. Is that right?
I believe they can because you're still coming out of my desktop. um,
All right.
I
Uh,
just can't see you yet.
okay.
I just need to.
Cool.
Okay, here's the guest thing. I'm going back in. I'm going to see if I can take that one off, and then I'm going to show you through Discord instead. because, yep, okay. Remove from stream.
All right. Well, if anybody's in chat right now and you can hear me, put an emote, put something in chat so you can show me that you're there, that we know you exist and you can hear us. I know some people are here. I can see the number.
Yes, I do know that one person in particular who is watching is not on Twitch, so they are
What's your bandwidth, 40 girl?
communicating
You
with
got
me
a
in the Discord.
you got a big pipe that somebody's using up all your data, or
You're saying my internet itself?
or
The internet
are
is.
they They're on Discord. Interesting.
Here we go.
Well,
All right, so I have put you
no, I'm
on
asking. Yeah,
screen.
I'm trying to make conversation to fill the air, man. That's what we're
Yes, I
supposed to do.
appreciate.
Dead air is the enemy.
Yes. Okay. All right. So I have put you on the other screen. I don't know if you can see, but I am about to delete your other one and then put you there instead.
All right.
Okay.
You're not doing the cardinal sin of streaming wirelessly, are you? You're not using Wi-Fi, are you?
That's probably.
That you're not supposed to do that. That's bad. That's bad. You gotta plug in.
I don't use the Ethernet cable, unfortunately.
I have it's like 500 meters long. I have one that's going all the way to my computer. It goes all the way around just so I can plug in because it really does make a difference for what it's worth. This is tech support with XtianNinja now. We're not doing what we were doing before. It's just tech support.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I should do. That might actually help me better than.
It absolutely does.
Okay, so what I'm going to do.
By the way, your stream setup is really cool. By the way, I really like what you've done. It's
thank you,
like it's
for following the channel.
Hey, it's ukulele for worship. Ukulele for hello. It's ukulele for hello.
I see. All right, let me.
Maybe she didn't subscribe to her own channel.
Okay. Okay.
Whoop, 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 whoop. I'm moving.
There you go. All right. That should be better, and you are no longer glitching. I don't think.
Hey.
At least to me.
I'll take it.
All right. Well, hello, and welcome to the stream.
Hi.
Everybody, so sorry for the technical difficulties for the first few moments of the stream, but that's how
it happens. Yeah, that's how it is. I agree.
Ukulele says I have to update my keyboard shortcuts for these holiday emotes. Ooh, holiday emotes.
Ukulele is the queen of emotes. She's got 17 billion of them, and they're all perfectly. Like, she'll use the exact right one for every situation, regardless of the situation. She'll have the perfect emote for it. It's a gift she has.
That's amazing because Twitch has so many emotes, and I didn't even know. Like, I've seen people with the little dancing dinosaur, and then I was like, "Oh, you guys got a cool dancing dinosaur," and I actually have it too. I just didn't know where it was.
And everybody's like, "Oh, it's free, dude. What's wrong with you?" Yeah, no, I don't know. There's like 4 million things to know.
Yeah, I totally underused Twitch emotes. XtianNinja is much louder than me. Are you saying?
That's
okay.
Yes,
so
that's true in reality.
Oh yeah.
That's true all the way around. I have one setting, and it's too loud.
I have turned my microphone down because I was scared about the gain situation, but I can turn it up a little bit. Is this better?
You can turn me down.
It sounds a little bit crunchy. Well, I can.
You wouldn't be the first one to look at me and go, "Hey, you know what? You should be quieter." For just in general.
Well, I think let me know if that is still too loud, if we are talking, if I'm still too low or if he's still too loud. Just
testing 1 2 3, please. Testing 1 2 3. How's the balance between us two?
Is it good or is it
I hope so. I can.
Um,
Is it tolerable? That's see. Sometimes that's the level we shoot for. Tolerable. All right.
it's better. Okay, better is good, I guess. That's acceptable. Now,
Mm-hmm.
since we're having so many sound issues, I was going to maybe have some background music, but I'm scared that if I do, then it's just gonna glitch things out.
And the stream computer starts on fire. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
how far do we want to push this? Yeah.
Yeah. So, I might try a little bit later, but since we kind of got calmed down, let's just start by introducing you. Who are you,
All right.
and what are you doing here on my stream?
It's a good question. Are you asking me, or are you setting up yourself for an intro? Or am I supposed to answer that?
I am asking you, setting up you for
Okay.
your intro.
All right. All right. Here's me setting up. All right, there you go. See, I'm new to this. I don't do a ton of collabs because I'm busy out of my mind all the time. I want to. Like this is like such a it's like a dream come true, answer to prayer moment for me to be able to kind of
Oh,
be on your stream because it is so it's exciting to me. I love hanging out. It means so much that you would invite me. It's really really cool. So thank you very much. If you
well,
don't know who
thank
I
you
am, I'm
for.
Christian Ninja. I'm a full-time streamer. I've been a full-time streamer for almost 3 years now. Anniversary's in March. I'm the executive director of TACO, the Alliance for Creative Outreach, where we network and support and train Christian content creators because we love them. You know, I was a pastor for 16 years, and then I came into full-time streaming right away. And one of the things I found out was that there's a lot of streamers out there that love Jesus, but don't seem to be supported by their congregation, their church, or whatever. But they're very passionate about their community, and so my heart went out to them, and I wanted to see if I could support them. Now, along with that, of course, I have my own community, the Christian Ninja community, where I use real talk and I do personal development talks, and then we do silly stuff. So I'm a Christian streamer, so that's sort of the job.
Nice. Um, Thank you so much for joining me because I am very honored that you even agreed to come onto the stream.
I'm beyond excited, man. I was it was an immediate yes. I'm a Wordy Girl fan.
Oh, I'm a Christian Ninja fan. I really enjoy your streams. If you guys do not know who Christian Ninja is, I will put the link in the VOD as well. But I am going to shout Christian Ninja in the chat. Please go follow Christian Ninja. All right, so without further ado, we can get started. So,
I think we've had
kind
as
of
much
just
ado as we can possibly muster.
yes. So, we're just kind of just chatting today. If you guys have any questions for either of us, feel free to put them in the chat. But we're going to ask a couple of things with each other because if you didn't know, Christian Ninja is from.
I'm from Canada. If you were setting me
And
up.
yes.
I couldn't tell if you were shuffling cards. He's from, or if you like I was supposed to fill that in. I haven't quite. We're not quite vibing yet. I'll try to be a little quicker.
Okay, it's okay. I mean, different collabs are different. So, yes. So, Christian Ninja is from Canada, and I am from
Mm-hmm.
Detroit, Michigan, which is, we have a bridge right to Canada there. So, I'm
You
not too
do.
far
You
away.
do.
Yes.
Yep.
Now, where in Canada are you?
I'm near the capital city. I'm near Ottawa, so that is it's not that far from you. It's a bit of a drive, but it's not that far from you. I'm just a little bit outside in a little community, bedroom community out. Beautiful, man. I'm from Alberta, right? So I'm from Alberta, the foothills of the Rocky Mountains. I didn't even know leaves existed, but when I was out there, just green trees and hills. That's all there was. Then I moved to Edmonton, which is like an industrial town where it's got like oil and it's got like gas and it's got all kinds of like everything's gray and like shaped like industrial things. And so it's fine. Edmonton's fine. Then I moved out here to Ottawa and like into Ontario, and it's like I walked into like a car commercial or I walked into some kind of like postcard because all of a sudden all the things that like seasons. You guys have seasons out here, man. That's super cool. I didn't have seasons. I had winter and not winter yet. That's all I had. And so out here though, like man, it's beautiful. Like the colors and I tell this story. When I came out here the first time and we're driving across, all of a sudden it was fall And you know that scene in a car commercial where like a car goes by really fast and the leaves flutter behind it, just show how fast it is, right?
Yeah.
I literally thought when I was growing up that they sprinkled leaves, they went and found leaves and they sprinkled it on the road just so that they could like get that scene. It's not, I saw it live and it was like natural and I thought it was the coolest thing. So I love living where I live. The people are nice, the area is great, the seasons are beautiful, the events, oh my goodness, the events. Like it's nonstop up here, things to do. It's so great.
Nice. Well, welcome, Uncle Tobin. I see Uncle Tobin is in the chat. Hello, hello, hello. It's so good to see you too. Yeah, so you told a little bit about what you like about Canada, and you do love the Four Seasons.
I
I
do.
love the Four Seasons as well. In Michigan, there is a meme about how, like, mainly the whole Midwest, about how weather is just so unpredictable that it's like winter, then false winter, full spring, real winter. Then it's like summer
If you don't like the
is in the
weather, just wait
afternoon,
5 minutes.
yes, and it will change immediately. So I love that. As you see, I have like autumn vibes for the last of
You do.
autumn. Yeah, and I even have the little leaves in my hair. But I my favorite season of all is summer. I just love how it's just warm. You can just go outside. You don't need a coat. You can wear flip flops. You can just go, and then like I get cold fast.
Are you a
So
beach girl? Are you like my mother? She'll go like pay money, thousands of dollars to go sit on a beach and have the sun just bake her alive because she loves it. Do you do that? I do not. I don't like that. Are you a solar powered person?
Uh, personally, I don't travel much, but that does sound like it would be quite enjoyable. But I just
Okay.
kind of hang out around here, and I just like to. I like the convenience of not having to put on a coat and not being cold, and then just being able to just like run outside without worrying about getting cold,
It's
which is
it's about
weird, but
efficiency.
it
It's,
is about efficiency. But as well as
I like
I
summer. Get more done. I don't have to deal with, shoelaces and jackets. That's,
yeah.
boom. It's in 30 seconds more.
Basically. But I do also just love like the sun because the sun rises earlier, it sets later. It's like 10 p.m. the sun is still out. And it's just beautiful and I like to go like to the playground. I'm right now like 26 years old, but I like to just sit on the swing and stuff.
Hey,
So,
you're never too old not to sit on the swings. It's
yes.
yeah.
So sometimes when it's like too cold, I won't even want to get out of the car. So I have three younger siblings who are like, "Come play on the playground." They're not that young either, but we just love to do stuff like that. But then they're like, "Well, Sandra, why aren't you getting out of the car?" I'm like, "It's cold." It's like it's fall. It's like it's cold though.
See, I,
So
I I disagree. I'm all about fall and spring. I think I like fall better than spring because that transition where it's like I really do like the colors and all the rest of that. But winter, I mean, granted, my actually your winter and my winter are probably very similar. So it's not like like I'm not a fan of the cold and the dark and all the rest of that stuff. Yeah, we have the holidays and you got Christmas and like who
yeah,
doesn't like Christmas? But in truth, like with that transition from summer to winter when it's all like especially that 3 weeks where everything is just gorgeous and wonderful and magical and postcardy. That's my jam. I love that. Like I avoid jackets and pants religiously. As much as I can possibly not have to wear them. And so the middle of winter, that January February time, I hate it the most because I have to bundle up. The rest of the time I'll just suffer.
just go out in the cold and just don't care. Well, I
Mhm.
love I love the holiday season as well. That's one of the things I really look forward to in winter because even though it's cold, the holiday season is just so warm and bright. And I do like the picturesque view of like all the seasons. Like I'm an amateur photographer as well, so I
Okay.
like to take pictures of spring when flowers are budding and stuff, and then summer when it's just so sunny and nice, and then like winter when it's snowing, and then autumn when there's leaves. So I
You said you're from
appreciate all the
Detroit, right?
seasons. Yes, yes, I am.
So one of the words that generally isn't associated with Detroit is picturesque. So Is it a misnomer? Like, are there really beautiful places in Detroit that you can go and kind of look? Because usually the story behind Detroit, like I lived in Cleveland for a year and a half or so, and nobody's like, I'm going to Cleveland for the view. Like that just doesn't
Of
happen.
course. Yeah, so Detroit, yes, notoriously not as picturesque. And even in the parts that are considered, beautiful and stuff like that, it's mainly like industrial stuff like the
Hmm.
Renaissance building and like those kind of architecture and stuff. It's not, I mean, when you want something picturesque, there's like Traverse City, they advertise all the fall colors and stuff. Like it's not Detroit.
Hmm.
Detroit. But I am just a person who finds the beauty in the mundane.
Hey,
So,
that's great.
one of the things about my photography is I like zoom in to a little flower I just see like on the
I was
side of the road
gonna say
growing out of this. Yeah.
that means you're a macro photographer. I knew exactly when you were what you were going for. Yep,
And some people are like, "Oh, that's so pretty. Where'd you take that?" I'm like, "On my street."
my front yard. Yeah.
So it's like, yeah. But yeah, I can show you guys my website as well. It's wordygirl.com. It's a lot of things, but I will put wordygirl.com. I have a couple of pictures in my gallery on that site, but if you go to my Instagram, you can see a lot of my other pictures that I take. And there's a lot of pictures I have too that I didn't put up there, but one of my favorite things is to take pictures of like the moon, like zooming in where you can see the craters and all that. So, uh,
Really, you gotta
ukulele,
something that can do that. Really,
yes, ukulele
that's a heck of a lens if
fluorescent
you can do that.
says yes, we can find beauty, God's beauty in lots of places. That is correct. I find God's beauty everywhere because it's even like in the places you least expect. There's so much to be found and so much to be thankful for and so much to just if you like they say, it's cliche, but stop and smell the roses. That
Mm,
can actually
sure.
like stop and take a picture of the roses. That's what I do.
I mean, beauty in the mundane is certainly it's almost a spiritual discipline. Like when you go through the spiritual disciplines, people often talk about prayer and Bible study and fellowship and all the rest of that stuff. Simplicity is also one. And I think you could almost shoehorn in, finding joy within the mundane. I actually think of
Yes.
like uh, the practicing the presence of God. Brother Lawrence. One of his things was that he hated doing the dishes. Like he's like, I hate doing the dishes.
Yeah.
But when he started committing himself to wanting to really practice the presence of God, see if he can think about God all day long, every day. And he was a monk, right? Like so, he was isolated. He was in a monastery. It was like his job. All he had to do was whatever the monk stuff was and think about God. And he said he learned to love the dishes time because nobody would bother him because nobody else wanted to do the dishes, and he could really kind of zone in on just kind of meditating and contemplating divine things. And for him, he turned that mundane task that he didn't like into kind of like this holy moment, and it changed his life. And I think that discipline of being able to go and look for where can I find joy in this? Where can I find beauty in this? How can I see God in this, even though it's not a natural thing? Obviously, you look at a sunset and you look at the ocean crashing, and you look at a
Yeah.
thunderstorm or whatever like that. Yeah, it's easy to see. You can see God's power and wonder. But what about when you're walking down the road and it's just kind of all cement and there's brick somewhere, and you don't really see the majesty of creation? Can you seek and search within that sort of gray tapestry some piece of beauty? And I think you can if you try, and if you're willing to open up your mind, you probably can.
Yes, that is such a profound way to look at it. And that is a beautiful, like you said, that's a gift to be able to do that. So,
I think it's a
yeah,
discipline too.
a
You can
discipline.
make
Yes.
you
So
can choose.
you can choose to, yeah, train yourself to look
Hmm.
for that. It might be challenging, but it is possible. All right. So, how about something more simple? What is your favorite food? Do you have one?
Dude, it's easy. Hot wings. 1,000%. It's so easy for me to give my favorite food because I've eaten 10 bajillion of them. And if I'm ever in a room with hot wings or it's on the menu, that is the thing that I gravitate towards. I freaking love them. It's they're so bad for you. Like every part of it is bad for you because it's all skin and then it's deep fried and then they dip it in sugar and spice, and so it's like super bad for you, which is probably why I like it. I find that incrementally for me, the closer it is to killing me, the more I like it.
Well, that can be true about a lot of things like that.
Hmm.
But what's your favorite kind of hot wings? Is it like a specific flavor or a
Hot
specific
honey,
brand from
hot hot
okay.
honey, man. And sometimes I have to go into the restaurant and tell them to make it because they don't have it. But do you have honey? Well, yeah. Do you have hot
Just
sauce?
put it on
Yeah.
there.
Put them together. Put them together and bring me that. Okay.
That is interesting. Um, what kind of restaurant chains do you have in Canada? Or is it like just small little not chain restaurants? Because some people love the it's not a chain, it tastes better kind of thing.
Well, we have most of what you guys have. I mean, obviously we don't have Chick-fil-A because they tried. You know, they came into Toronto and were picketed out of the city
Oh
within a
no.
couple months. Yeah, it was a whole thing. So unfortunately, I don't have Chick-fil-A, but we do have, you know, most of what you guys have. I think that the the industrialization or the commercialization of the spread of American culture and all that stuff is certainly. I mean, we're right next to you guys, so it's obviously going to hit us just as hard, and we're a natural outlet for you guys to be able to bring in experiment your stuff in. I mean, like Target is another example of an American company that came in, tried to take over one of our department stores. Didn't work out, right? They came in, they took over like I don't know 100 different stores, and then nobody in Canada wanted to shop there. Like we they try to kind of bring in American culture as much as we can, but we really have lost our Canadian restaurant sort of edge. We used to have Tim Hortons, for example. Like Tim Hortons was like kind of quintessentially Canadian, but then it was bought by Burger King. And then they started turning all the the homemade donuts and all the stuff that they were baking. It all now comes on a truck frozen. You know what I mean? Like it's been like if I try to think of the sort of the Canadian thing, it's the only thing I can really say around here in Ontario, and this is not across Canada. In Ontario, they really like fry trucks, man. Like within
Ooh.
walking distance from my house, I can probably get to, yeah, I can get to three different fry trucks within walking distance, and because they love French fries apparently out here, way too much.
So it's just like a food truck that sells fries?
French fries. Yep. I mean, occasionally they'll have like a burger, like a pogo or whatever like that. But no, it's all fries, and it's each one has their own little bent, their own little flavor. You know, some are gluten free. They don't. Some This one only uses beef tallow, and this one, you know, like it's all. They all have their own little spin, but they're everywhere. Like you would think that it would be impossible to run a fry truck next to a fry truck, but no, they both can operate up here.
It's like they have their own unique recipes and flavors. That just reminds me of like the fair. Like the only time I really see like fries advertised like that is just like fairs. We don't really have just fry trucks. But Warrior the
Yeah,
Wind, who is in the Discord, says, "Oh no, Tim Horton got bought out." Because I didn't know that
yeah,
either. I did know that
yeah.
it was a stereotypical thing to say that Tim Hortons is Canadian, but we've always had Tim Hortons around here. But maybe it was because we're so close to Canada. But
Yeah,
Warrior
exactly.
says,
Yep.
yeah, they're in Texas and they start seeing them in Houston, and they were like, wait, is this a Canadian brand?"
It
So I guess
was.
it's
Yeah, I
Burger
mean,
King's fault.
like it. Unfortunately, like a lot of that has actually happened in Canada when we talk about Canadian culture, because and really the different like we learned this in school, right? It's America is the melting pot. Like you guys bring in other cultures and they kind of become American, right? That's kind of thing. You guys have your own culture and you kind of keep bringing people in. Yeah, they have their own little spice, but mostly it's just a melting pot of now you're in America, so be American. Canada's different. We call ourselves the mosaic. So in other words, you bring your culture in, you bring your, you know, whatever in, and we'll add you to the picture. You know, part of what you do and your differences make us a more beautiful country. But that what that means is that the Canadianism, Canadian-esque way or whatever ends up changing and altering and maneuvering depending on the population, depending on immigration, depending on how much we import of whatever culture. It alters how we perceive and how we think and whatnot. They have to have laws, like we have laws, and I'm sure you guys do too. But we have laws for like you have to have so much Canadian content on your radio station. You have to have so much Canadian content on your TV station. You have to have so much Canadian content on your whatever newspaper because everybody otherwise will just go find the most popular stuff in the US and BBC and all that, and we just lose it altogether.
Oh wow, that's very interesting that there's laws to keep the Canadian patronism alive, I
Hmm.
guess.
It gets crazier when you move into Quebec. In Quebec, they which is a French Canadian, right? Like they have even more laws because they are intentionally trying to keep their French Canadian Quebecois culture, sort of sacrosanct, like protected. And so they have even crazier laws. Like everything needs to either be only French or bilingual. I mean, obviously throughout Canada we're bilingual French, but if you go to Quebec, sometimes it's just French. Like you won't get anything. I think of the story of there was an ice cream shop. There was a chain, and you went there. It was kind of interesting because instead of buying like an ice cream, you'd bought like ice cream by the weight. You like however much you filled the bowl, that and then you paid for by the weight of ice cream. It was kind of weird,
Mm.
but they had their own little custom spoons. They were plastic custom spoons, and so when they went into Quebec and they started putting down their little restaurants or little ice cream shops, they weren't allowed to use their spoon because their spoon only had their name in English on it, and there could have been a francophone version, and so therefore they had to, if they were in Quebec, they weren't allowed to use their spoon.
That's so weird.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Wow. Ukulele says, "Do you think you inherit that from France? They have rules about what words you can use." I do know that Canada is a lot French, like leaning or inspired, or I don't know
Well,
the full
essentially, like
history
we
of
were
it.
settled. The way it went is that basically, like the British came in, the French came in, and then they argued with each other about whatever. So you had Upper Canada and Lower Canada, and you had, I think actually Lower Canada was higher, whatever. But anyway, one was French and one was British, and then instead of taking over, right? Like so, like they didn't take each other over. They just made an agreement. Okay, let's live together, but everything's got to be both. Actually, in Canada, one of the interesting things is very different when it comes to Aboriginal cultures or First Nation, what you guys would call probably Indians, is that in US, it was a conquering, a taking over, right? We have your land now and deal with it. In Canada, there was actually an agreement. You can go to the museum and you can see this kind of, it looks like a big scarf. And what it was for them, like in the native culture, the contract between Canada or the government they're in or Britain or whatever whatever they were called at the time, and that culture that we would live on your land, but it would still remain yours. We would be here for so many years. I think it was 100 years, and then the land would return to you, or it would be we would be partnering or whatever like that. Like at no point was it ever a conquering. It was an agreement. So it was the Britons with the natives and then French with Britain, and you like it's a let's see if we can work together and let's see if we can live together and not do this in a military way. And that's been the culture very much like the see if we can get along that is a big part of Canadian culture, which is why we have the sorry a lot. Like that's why you hear apologies a lot. This is my theory. It's because in Canada we have lots of space, like tons of space. You like just so much. We have so much. There's a lot of Canada. And so therefore
Yes.
when we're inside of each other's bubbles, we recognize it a lot more. I think in a big city or you go to Japan or something like that, like everybody's bumping into everybody. You don't have to bump into people here. And so we have this idea of personal space, personal bubble. And if you offend anybody's bubble, you apologize for it. Why do you apologize? I think because baked into the Canadian culture is this idea of, well, we're here together. We're not going to hurt each other. I'm not going to take you over. Let's figure this out. Let's figure out how we can work. And so therefore, I'm going to try to make it easier on you. So I'm sorry, right? I don't know. That's my theory anyway.
Oh, well, that makes sense. Unfortunately, here, like you said, it was way more like colonialism, unfortunately, with the native and indigenous peoples. And that is a very sad thing. But yeah, they were in Canada as well. So it sounds like
You, well,
you
you
guys probably
you tried
did.
to take us over,
Yeah, I know. And
right?
we even got
1812, and
Alaska.
we kicked your butt. We kicked your butt. No, you got Alaska from
Yes.
Russia. That wasn't us. You got
Ah,
you got Alaska from Russia. You guys came in 1812. You tried to take over Canada. We kicked your butt, and the reason was because we were working with the natives. We were working with two different militaries. Like it was a we had our unity was our strength. We kicked you guys out, and then kept going, and we burnt down the White House. The reason you have a White House is because Canada
yeah, I
burnt it down, and
remember.
you had to repaint it. So there, we
Yes.
are the only ones who beat you in a war. So
Well, yeah.
be careful down
I,
there. That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
You be nice.
I get it. But yeah. So I think we were talking about favorite food and stemmed over there,
Yeah,
which is totally good.
absolutely.
that was a
Totally
good
makes
history
sense.
lesson, by the way. You can figure out a lot of history with food, actually.
Mhm.
Um, but as for my favorite food, I mean, I usually say my favorite foods are pizza and tacos. um,
That's pretty standard. Pizza's pretty standard. I mean, all you have to do is
yes.
throw cheeseburgers in there, and you've got the American trifecta.
But the funny thing about me is I don't like cheese on my hamburger because I'm weird. Like I don't like
I mean, what about your pizza?
for one, I do like cheese on pizza
Okay.
because it's like mozzarella cheese is okay. Um I don't like American cheese. Which is
Yeah.
weird,
Well,
but I
you
don't.
have to do this every time you say American cheese,
American
right?
cheese.
You have to put the air quotes on it.
Yes. Um but yeah, I for one am lactose intolerant.
Mm.
So that's one of the reasons, but also I just don't know. I don't like mayonnaise on my stuff. I don't like American cheese on stuff. I only like grilled cheese sometimes if it's cooked like almost burnt and it's like made with cheddar.
Okay,
I'm just a
so
very weird person with my
uh
food.
yeah, I'm trying to put that together because if your favorite food is pizza, right? Then
Yeah.
but you don't like cheese. Is it it's you said it's because it's mozzarella cheese and you're lactose intolerant. See, I grew up with a guy who was lactose intolerant. He was the pastor of my church and he didn't, he'd get sick if he had ice cream or if he had pizza or whatever. And once a year or once every 6 months, he would have that day where he would just like take a bottle of Lactaid and he's like, I gotta have a cheese pizza. I gotta do it now. And he'd go out there and he'd eat a whole cheese pizza and have ice cream and then suffer for like 2, 3 days and be like, it's so worth it. It's so worth it. You know? So I can
Yeah. Well,
understand, like,
I'm not that bad. Um the main thing is regulation. um
mm,
but it's also that I just don't care for the taste of cheese on stuff. Like if I could take it without cheese, usually I do. It has to be a certain things. I'm just very weird. Another thing is I have a lot of allergies, and my little sister
mm.
has even more allergies. So it's weird. I, fun fact, am allergic to chocolate, and I kind of did like your pastor friend, where I'm
Gasp.
like, okay, I really just want some chocolate. I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna get the chocolate, and then, but what happens is I get like a rash all on my arms, and
Oh,
so it's not
maybe you
actually
shouldn't rub
like
it on your arms before eating it.
if only it was that simple. Um, but yeah, I thankfully am not like I don't need an EpiPen or anything like that. My little sister, she's allergic to nuts and she needs an EpiPen
Oof.
and stuff.
That's a rough one
But
because nuts
yeah,
are kind of in everything.
exactly.
You can
But I'm
avoid
allergic
chocolate.
too.
You can avoid milk, but it's nuts are everywhere.
Yeah. So it's just a lot. And then in addition to these allergies and stuff, I'm also, I guess people can say, a picky eater because I don't like certain things, like
Yeah, but what's
cheese.
the cart and what's the horse? You know what I mean? Like, are you a picky eater because foods make you sick, or do you end up being picky eater because you've learned that you have to be choosy in your food?
A little bit
Like,
of
is it because you have to, or
both.
because you have learned?
A little bit of both
So
because some is just
here's a
like I don't like
question:
the taste.
what about expensive food? Because, like, for example, like, will you go for the fancy stuff? Like, if you go to a, or do you crave like that little tiny cube of like of salmon with a little sprig of whatever on it, and kind of like to have that dining experience of really fancy stuff? Or are you do you not care about that and it doesn't really matter where it comes from? It's just as long as you like it.
Yeah, I don't mind where it comes from as long as I like it because,
Mm.
um, yeah, if it's gonna be all fancy like that and it's like just a little portion and it costs like $600 and then it doesn't taste all that hot, like no
Yeah.
thanks. I'm not the kind of person who's just like, oh, the experience. Like no, um, I like a food if it tastes good and
Mm.
if it's cheap. I don't like those stereotypes of people like, oh, you're taking me to this restaurant. Like no, if it tastes good, it tastes good to me. So I'm not picky in that area.
Mm. Understood.
How about you?
I
I
I
mean,
love it.
you love hot
You
wings
know,
anyway.
I'm old now, you know, so I'm getting a little bit more, you know, settled in my ways. And because, you know, I'm completely, you know, I'm basically, I am nonprofit, and I'm ending up, I don't have, you know, I live off donations. Like I've been doing this full time, and it's only because of the support of people through coffee and help that I've been able to continue on doing it. So therefore I don't have a ton of money for extra stuff. And so if I get something special, I'm like, I tend to lean towards what I've already liked. You know what I mean? I have a choice. Well, can I try the new thing, or do I get the chicken parmesan? You know what I mean? Because I know that's going to be good. However, back when I had, you know, like a full-time job and all the rest of that stuff, and pay and medical and all that jazz, I really liked experimenting with different foods and trying different places. It was so much fun to just kind of go places and to be like, That's weird. Let me try that." That's how I discovered how great pistachio ice cream is. Good gravy, pistachio ice cream is good. I never would have thought so because it's green, but it's super good.
Yeah, I never tried it, but to be fair, I'm allergic to nuts. But it
Yeah, don't
seems
do that
like
then.
even if I wasn't allergic, I would still think that it's a little bit weird sounding. Like,
It
is
is a
it
little weird. It is.
sweet? Like, does it have? Uncle Tobin
Yeah.
agrees that it's good.
It's super good. Yeah,
Um,
it's a totally different experience. It's not it doesn't taste like nuts because pistachios don't taste like nuts really. It's like it's a totally different, it's hard to describe. You know, it's kind of like
you just
asking,
have
you know,
to
it's
eat
like
it.
white chocolate. You like if nobody had ever had white chocolate before and you had to describe how white chocolate tastes, what would you say? Wordy girl, who is a writer.
Well,
Right?
yeah, it's
It's hard.
very challenging to do that. Yeah, yeah, that, yeah. Um, yeah.
It's
That is
sweet nuts sorta.
challenging. Like
Exactly. Nailed it.
the white chocolate, I guess I would just have to say it tastes. I mean, because it doesn't really taste like chocolate, but it doesn't really taste
Mm-mm.
like
Because it's not.
vanilla. It doesn't really taste like anything. It's just like something that you have to taste. So I
Tastes
get
like
it.
white chocolate. Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So Warrior of the Wind says there are people allergic to red dye 40, and they just
Mm-hmm.
recently found out it's because of the crushed ladybug shells, which
The
I
bugs.
don't.
Yep.
Yeah, they. I've known that they crush beetles or something for the red dye, and some people did not know that, so they're like, "Wait, what? Oh no, we're eating that." It's like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff,
What I don't
unfortunately, that
understand
we don't
why
think to eat.
how does red velvet cake exist? I don't understand that recipe at all. Like somebody would be like, "You know what I want the main ingredient in this cake to be? Just a bucket of red dye." Like it's that had to be somebody out there who just freaking loves it because other people it'll kill. It'll, you know, make them crazy. Red dye apparently also is contributing somehow to like hyper, you know, whatever, like people ADHD kind of symptoms, whatever, when you because people don't process it well, apparently some people.
Yeah.
So it's like who decided that red dye would be a main ingredient?
Yeah, that's very weird. At first I didn't even know like what red velvet cake was. Like is it
Right?
chocolate and then it has like cream cheese frosting or something? But it's like it's just so red, and a lot of times dye is just so strong and potent that it doesn't really make the food taste good to me anymore. It's like
Agreed.
if there's too much dye, I'm like especially like have you ever gotten like a birthday cake or something that has purple dye and it just makes it taste off? Like
Yeah.
there's an
The
aftertaste or something.
flowers. Yeah, like you got the
Mm-hmm.
like the you get the flower, you're like, man, those are gross. They look great, but they are so gross. Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, when is your birthday if you don't mind sharing?
I am in January, January 4th. That's what I
Hey.
was almost the New Year's baby for my town. My mother is still kind of salty about it
Oh.
because she was they waited, right? Like there was no New Year's baby, no New Year's baby, and then it was came to the 4th, and 2 hours before I was born, another baby was born, and that became the New Year's baby for my small little town. And they got like a basket and they got in the newspaper and stuff, and my mom was just she's still like so salty.
She's like, why didn't you come out?
Yeah.
But yeah, my mom, she was literally born on the 2nd. And
Hmm.
she said back then, they used to like give you like diapers and stuff and all the stuff for if you were born on New Year's. Like it was a big celebration. And I was like, I don't know if they still do all that, but that's what it sounds like. And even you were in a small town, which made it big news
Yeah,
because it
small
was
town.
like in the
Yeah.
newspaper, and there weren't like millions of babies being born on that day. It was just like one.
No, yeah.
So
If you go to like
that's
if you go to
pretty
big city,
cool.
it's like 12:01, 12:00 at 30 seconds. Yeah, but no, not where I grew up for sure.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. My birthday is March 13th. Fun fact, sometimes it falls on a
Hey.
Friday, but I don't care. I technically was born, I think, on a Thursday, so but sometimes my
That's
birthday falls on
that's good. See,
Friday, but
no,
I'm
it's a
not
Thursday. Totally. I was born on Thursday. It's fine.
I'm not superstitious though at all. But I just like to like that's a little icebreaker thing to say to people.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's a good one. I like the clarity. It's really funny. It's like I was born on the 13th, but hold on, don't judge me just yet. I want you to know it was a Thursday that year.
Yeah. Oh. Yep. So all right. How about your favorite color? Because I see you're wearing red. Is that your favorite
Well,
color?
no, it's my color is the one around me. And it's neon purple. I
Ah.
mean specifically neon purple. Purple is nice. I like purple, but really that sort of glowy a hazy neon, like kind of white in the middle, and then it expands to purple. That's my
Yes.
jam. Like that when you go and look at what do they call it? Synthwave stuff or cyberwave or whatever, that kind of vibe where you've got kind of
Yes.
that purple 80s look. That's it. That's my stuff right there.
That is really cool. And I know exactly how you're describing it. I know exactly what you're talking about. My favorite color is red. Just mostly any shade, but if it's too pink, then I don't feel like it's red anymore. Um,
Red.
Uncle Tobin says, "Do you celebrate golden birthdays? Are you saying like milestone birthdays, or are you saying like the half year birthday? Because I've heard of some people celebrating like their half year birthday, where if it's like
Really?
6 months into the year, then they're
Somebody would
like, "Happy half birthday." I'm like, "What?"
These are people that were born in December. That's who does that.
Ah,
Like, it doesn't
yes,
count. I got a happy birthday Christmas present. That doesn't count. I want one in August. You have to
yes.
redo it. Yep. Actually, being born
Ah,
on the 4th is kind of brutal because it's like everybody's hyped for Christmas, right? And they're all getting ready. And then 25th or whatever your tradition is, everybody gets like awesome presents and they're very happy about it and whatnot. And then they're kind of holding it together for the first, and everybody's really excited for the first. You know how people feel on the 4th? You know how many people want to celebrate on the 4th of January? Nobody. They're tired. They don't have any money. They don't have any time. They're back at work, and nobody's thinking about me on my birthday. The last thing they want to do is celebrate anything. They're waiting for Valentine's Day. They're good till Valentine's Day. So yeah, actually, it's interesting because one of the things that I love most in the world is accessories. It is my favorite thing to be able to have whatever to plug into whatever. You should have seen my Game Boy back in the day. It had every
ah.
single thing glued onto it that it could possibly find because I love accessories. And I think the reason is because I would get the present for my for Christmas, and then it would always be whatever accessory for the present. Like for sometimes it was the batteries, but still you need batteries for some things. But it was
Yeah.
you get an accessory, and I just loved the building and adding. It actually bothers me to this day that I have ports on the back of my computer that I'm not using. I need everything to be plugged in full.
Mm. Wow, that's interesting. I actually my setup I need to fix it because I have too many things plugged in and I really need a PC or something like you so that it's not putting too much weight on stuff.
Yeah.
Because I
Oh,
had
it's
been
all bendy.
I mean no. I mean, well, not physical weight. That would
Okay,
be
I'm
horrible.
like I'm like
But
the wires are all coming out and
you're
they're all
like,
like really heavy and hanging off the edge.
No, but yeah, I had called my sound guy because my microphone had been cutting out the last couple of days, and I had to use the horrible webcam mic, and it sounded horrible.
Gasp. Yeah,
But
no, that's
he was
terrible.
like, "Yeah, the driver's probably not recognized because you have too much stuff plugged in. Do you have it in a USB splitter?" And I'm like, "Yes." So that was the problem there. So I need to figure things out, but right now I'm like looking at it. There's a socket with and then there's like three things plugged into the side, and then there's something plugged in the, and it's a laptop too, which is not the best. And like I have a
Mhm.
monitor, um, and all this is like on a laptop, which is kind of a lot.
I think, see, one of the cool things, and I teach this in the class, we talk about this a lot on stream when I do that, is that you can do a lot with a little. It's not about the tech. It's not about how gorgeous everything is. It's not about how well you're lit. You know, even if you can get, half decent audio, like you're fine. People watch you, people go to your stream, people connect with whatever you're doing, whether it be your music or your, art or whatever, they because of you. Right, that they want to come and they want to talk to you, they want to see you, they want to interact with you. And as long as there's not a massive distraction, it's not grating, it's not, like flashing, or the audio is super awful, they'll look past a lot of technological issues because they care about you. So like, if you, for example, if you're on stream and you're looking through stream and you have a choice between working on your overlays and working on your lighting and working on your all sort of the trappings versus working on your content, working on your scripting, your jokes, your planning, your when you're going to be able to show up. Like, it really matters that you get that right, because when people show up and they feel respected, that you prepped it, and they feel respected that you have something to say and you have a reason for being there, and then you're personable and you are invitational, and that doesn't matter. All the extra stuff goes away because they care about you.
Yes, that is so true. And I am very grateful. I see Danny Fandoms is here as well. Hi. And Dream Cartographer. And those are two people that are almost always in my streams. And I am just so thankful for them. So thank you guys for stopping by. Danny says, I'm here for the roasty toasties. That's funny also. I have a
Bring it.
lot of shop redeems. And I have it where I can like roast marshmallows on a candle and stuff like that. So people really enjoy
Oh,
those.
I thought I was gonna get like horribly roasted as a guest. Like, he was gonna come in and like just tear me down
A
psychologically.
new roasty toasty. Roast Christian Ninja.
Yeah. Oh,
No.
we're taking another direction. All right, let's see
Oh.
how this goes.
Yeah, no. Thankfully that's not it. But yeah, Danny says hey. Yeah, but yeah, I actually like what you said, because people, when I first started streaming, kind of like I heard your story about when you first started streaming, you were kind of just streaming to nobody, but you just got a couple of friends to do, look in just so you don't feel like you're talking to nobody. Well, I was a lot of times just talking to nobody and just talking to nobody, and I just saw the number was 0, but I acted like there's somebody there because I know that,
Yep.
for one, I did upload all of my VODs to YouTube, so somebody could be watching it in the future, and I don't know. They might see it. They might like it. I don't know. Or they might never see it. But I just try to, you know, put on my best and be there.
Mhm.
And now I am glad because there's at least a few people watching every time I go live.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It
that
means a
is,
lot. Like,
yeah, I'm thankful for
well, like,
those
I
people.
give this example. Do you have, like, if you two different streams, right? One stream you have 1,000 people coming. You have this amazing like number. Algorithmically, it works out, and you do a stream, and it goes well, and technologically works, and all the rest of that stuff. But after stream, you hear nothing back other than, that was good. Or
Yeah.
this stream, where you have, like, say 10 people there, 8 people there, but you have this incredibly personal conversation. You share your heart. You're able to talk about meaningful things, and then 3 of them join your Discord and become engaged in your community. Which stream do you want? Right?
Yeah, I would take the second
For a
one
Christian
because
streamer,
that's
it's a
what I have.
no-brainer, right? Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Because I do feel way more personable with these people, and sometimes the chat can get a little bit like fast, but some of the streamers I see, the chat is like it's like, how are you reading? They're not reading, and they can't
They're not.
read because there's way too
Yeah,
much going on, and they can't really connect with people on the personal level that I can when it's not too busy. So I do
agreed.
appreciate
There's a
the
magic in
small
small
season.
streamers.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And like you said, joining the Discord, then we get to talk about things outside of streams, and we get to like
Mhm.
support each other. I have a creative server, so there are a lot of people there who do writing and they do all kinds of stuff, and we kind of talk about our projects, and we do a lot of cool, fun stuff. So,
Got it.
um,
That's super cool.
yeah, I know you also have a Discord. Why can't I say it? A Discord.
We
Yes.
have see, I have a weird Discord because it's the taco Discord. So in other words, the taco team. So we got 5 members on the taco team. Each of their communities is in the same Discord. So we all have our own little section and we all have our own little kind of alerts and whatnot. But the communities all kind of get together and support one another and love one another. We've designed a community support team, the community allies we call them, that actually is intentionally meant to go in and make sure that prayer requests are seen, and those who are going through some stuff get some contact, and that people are responded to, just so that they can feel like there are people out there that love them and know them, and
Yes.
believe they're valuable when they get into the Discord. Like I to be intentional about it. That's critically important when it comes to
Yes.
Discord. There's so many dead Discords out there that come to my Discord and then nothing happens. I didn't want
Yeah.
that, and so we have this path that people can come in, start on stream, end up in the Discord, grow as a grow in the community member with your creator. Here, go this way. If you're not a creator, we have other teams you can join, and other ways you can support each other. Like it's been a wonderful thing, and because it's all about, really, like you said, that post stream care, that post stream connection, because that's really where that's the hard work. That's the hard work. You know what I mean? That's the hard work, because it's easy to jump on stream and it's easy to be friendly for however many hours you're on. But when you're afterwards, really connecting to people and then doing the extra legwork of remembering what they're dealing with and then telling them that you care and whatnot, that's a bit more.
Yes. Warrior of the Wind, who is in the Discord, much love, says that is why I got so few Discord channels I follow, because so many died. It
Yep,
was just painful. Yeah, like when
yep.
you join a
I'm part of
place,
like
it's just
five.
like, yeah. And I am like a lurker where I just join people's Discords, but a lot of times stuff isn't really happening. I try to make it where mine isn't completely down. But it's good to have a team, I guess, to help, because I know the Taco Discord has a lot of like official team members and stuff, so that there can
Hmm.
always be activity and stuff, which is, I appreciate that. There's another Discord I'm part of where there's so many people there in different time zones, so whenever somebody has a question, somebody's up, somebody's gonna
There's always
answer.
someone there.
People
Yeah, I
can
love it.
talk,
I
some
love it.
people can just jump in a voice chat and stuff like that. I appreciate those kinds of communities too, because it's like there is support there for those people who
Hmm.
need it. But right now my Discord is quite small, but I do try to stay active as much as possible, and I feel like it's just like one of those cozy little places. It's not a big bustling place.
Well, the people we serve, and as small streamers, as intentional streamers, are the lost, lonely, disenfranchised, and disillusioned. Right? Those are the people that are at home. They're lonely because they're working from home. They're lost because they've been through a lot of stuff, or they don't know Jesus. They don't understand faith, and they don't have a community. They're disillusioned with kind of the world, or with relationships, or whatever, and they're disenfranchised. As in, they're not connected to school. They're not connected to team. They're not connected to local community stuff. They're not connected to anything. Like they've moved away from those organizations, and there's a lot of people out there who the only people they talk to, the only people they see, are the Uber guy and the Amazon guy. Like that's
Yeah.
the rest of it's online, and so therefore it's not psychologically. It's not healthy for someone to live like that. But some people, because of mental health issues or learning disabilities, or because that's just how their job is, or how they grew up, or they had to move and they're in the middle of nowhere for whatever reason, they that's how they exist. And for us to be able to provide some kind of crash pad, some kind of safe environment, some kind of intentionally loving environment, to let them know that they're not just a number on the screen, they're not just another viewer, we're not just trying to get their sub, but we care about them as individuals, because we remember things about them and we ask them, further. It literally does change lives. It absolutely changes lives. People have been saved. Not, I mean, like salvifically. I mean, from suicide, from falling off the wagon, from addiction, from pornography, because a small streamer or an intentional community got a hold of their heart, and showed them that they were loved and valuable and vindicated and validated, and then they felt like they didn't need to do whatever the bad thing was. There's great
Yeah.
power in what we do.
Yes, and I do adore your mission very much. That is your mission of your stream. So I do really admire that also, that you're able to like hone in on exactly who you're targeting. I need to work on that too, because you've talked to me about it before,
Come
and
take my
I'm just like
class.
yes, so much
But by
material
the end of it,
volcanoes.
you'll
I'm like,
know.
All right, I should try to do that because I'm like, I'm doing everything. It's like, well, what is the main thing? I'm like,
If
everything.
it helps. So coming up this year, I just finished the final draft of the book. So I took it, I wrote it, I
Yes.
sent it off to creators and network leads and all the online people to get some feedback, and then I took it back, did the feedback, put it into the book, and then I now it's in the hands of the editor to be turned into the final copy of the Christian content creator training book. That's not its name. That's a boring name. We'll figure something else out. But that's what it is. It's based on the class. I did something very fun. I thought it was very, very cool. So I recorded the class on YouTube, and then I took those and had them adapted into scripts, as in like they were transcripted. And then I took the transcripts and I dumped those into Chat GPT and I said, make this sound smarter, go. And then it took it and it did really, really well in kind of organizing it into thoughts and paragraphs and whatnot that I could take and I could adapt and turn into the section of the book. And that's where it's like literally right out of the class. And so what we're doing
Nice.
now is I'm recording the classes again, but like officially, like with the actual PowerPoint and like with me in the corner and like discussion stuff. And then I'm going to edit those into videos. And so the plan is within the next, I don't know, hopefully next couple months, there will be a book and there will be a digital class that people can take. So I don't have to be there. So we can actually be running them with other leaders or maybe even individually. I think it's a big deal when you get together and you're able to do it as a group. But at the same, some people just can't do that because of time zones and whatever. But at least it'll be something we can
Exactly.
offer.
That is great. And please do let me know when the book is available because uh, congratulations for one on producing that because that sounds like it does a great accomplishment and it's going to help so many people with
I hope so.
learning and it's probably going to help me too. I really need to
I hope
take a
so.
look at it. What I've heard from the book because that's what you've been reading on your streams, right? A bit of.
Well, I mean, technically no, but it's from the same sort of thing. So like I use book 1 of the John Maxwell Equipped Leadership course
Ah, yeah,
as
yeah, yeah.
the foundation of the Christian Creator course. And on stream with personal development stuff, I'm doing book 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So
Nice.
same but different.
Yeah. Well, well, your streams are very helpful as well, and I'm sure that your book will be very helpful as well. So please let us know when it comes out so that we can make sure to go get it.
I
Uh,
will try.
y- yes, that is good, ukulele. All right, so I
I'll stop
don't.
shoehorning in advertisements now.
It's okay. We're the ones actually complaining about real ads. I need to get something together about that. Twitch changed something
There's
and
something
they
you can do about
sent
that,
me a notification. Yeah, and
you
I
know?
tried to fix it. They're like, um,
I'm
something
not
about
talking to you.
ads,
I'm
and I was
talking to
like,
the guy who's complaining about ads.
oh,
There's something you can do to get rid of those ads.
yeah. Well, yeah, I do say there is the sub club that I have.
Absolutely.
Exclamation point sub club where if you want to become a subscriber and have no ads then that would be appreciated but um yeah, dream cartographer has to go. Have a blessed one, dream cartographer. Thank you so much for joining. I'm so glad you appreciate the stream. But I do know, did you have to go also, Christian Ninja? Because I know we started
I
late but
I
we're
stream at
just an
noon.
hour.
But I want to make because I know we started a little early or a little late, so I want to make sure I gave you the full hour. So yes, I'd say 7 minutes, and I can I'll go. But you can kick me
All
off
right.
whenever you feel like it.
No, I don't want to kick you off at all. I just didn't want
I've
to
had
hold you over
enough.
till. No.
It's done. Click. All right.
Oh no. But I was just looking at the clock and it did say that it's been 59 minutes. So I'm like, technically that's an hour. Oh no, he has to go.
Yeah. 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 But the
Yeah,
first part of
so
stream didn't count.
yeah, technically. I appreciate you guys bearing with us with the technical difficulties. Hopefully next time it will be better. Uncle Tobin has to leave as well. Thank you so much for joining the stream. I appreciate you guys so much. And yeah. So is there anything you wanted to say to close out, Christian Ninja?
Just, I mean, I I guess an appreciation of you, and I think it's really cool that on Twitch, there's so many different kinds of streams. There's so many different, you can go watch people cook, you can go watch people, make crafts, you can listen to podcasts, you can have people come in and do art and, like sit there and watch someone color. There's so many different things. But to have somebody who's, kind of dedicated to the craft of writing, to the craft of creativity, of intellectual creativity and stuff like that. It's really cool. I just think it's really neat for people to be able to come and talk to you and to hear, and to share, that sort of the all the stuff that's going on in their brain creatively, because there's a lot of people that don't have an outlet. Like they don't know how to write it. They don't really know what to do with it. They're not distributing it. They're not an AO3 or whatever, but they got a place where they can come become validated because of their creative thinking. I just think that's cool.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm honored that you appreciate that, and I appreciate your streams as well. They're really nice. Please do check out Christian Ninja if you haven't. Um, you like you said, you're about to stream in like 45 minutes, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So
That's the plan.
yeah, we will. I will probably hang out a bit for in there, but I do have to do some other stuff today. But I will drop by to say hello. Christian Ninja,
Appreciate
you
it.
do a lot of like games and talking and all kinds of things. Christian Ninja's streams are really cool and really hype.
I'm all
I
over the
was
map.
so yeah, I was so surprised when I saw the intro one time because I usually come in halfway through and I never saw like the intro, but the intro is just so epic. I
It's
need
the
to get
drop,
better
man.
with my intro.
It took me 3 months to find that song, to be able to find
Wow.
one that had that right drop that I wanted with the intro and whatnot. You know who I stole that from? Tommy Innit. He has
Ah,
this very similar thing that he does. It's the way that he starts stream is super intentional, and it leads to that sort of hype moment, and it's so consistent that it kind of gets in the head of the viewers and whatnot, that this is how we're starting, ready to go, and everybody's ready. I think that's something that we can do as streamers, is that we can bring that consistency and bring that energy for so people can know what's happening. It's when you're untethered. I think in life, when you're lonely, you're lost, you're disenfranchised, disillusioned, you feel untethered. You don't have that connection. And so we, as streamers who are part of their lives, the consistency that we bring and the excellence that we bring and that sort of repetitive life stuff, like they're always on at noon, and that's who I start my day with, or that's who I have lunch with, and that's the song that we start with, and that's the song that plays at certain time, and at 2 o'clock we do fun stuff. I think it's a gift that we provide for people who are our viewers.
yeah. That consistency is really good, and I'm yeah, it's really because there's some people who, like you said, show up every single time you stream. And you're like, this
Mhm.
is like family. These are friends. These are people who are really looking up to you and enjoying their time with you, even though you're
Exactly.
through a screen. And that is
And
the
they're
wonder of
contributors.
technology. Yes, they contribute to the community. They are
Absolutely.
very, very wonderful pillars of the community. Other people know them in the chat. They're like, oh, hey, hey. And you know them. And it's just so. I like the community of. And I know that people say it's been like because of COVID, a lot of stuff started, but there were a lot of people doing this kind of stuff before COVID happened. It just
Absolutely.
kind of became way more popular because they couldn't do anything else. But there were people who were already streaming, doing stuff like this, and there were people, like you said, who just stay at home, and this might be the only kind of interaction they get. And it is important for them to at least get something like this from a very
For sure.
positive person who cares about their well-being, who wants to support them, who is making it a mission to be there for them. So I
Thousand
really
percent.
respect you for that, and I appreciate you just being that epic person in the community, who's just yeah, like I don't think there's anybody quite who does exactly what you do, like you said the other day. I'm like,
I
yeah,
I
I
get
don't
that. I'm a
think there's any.
unicorn. Yeah, I'm a unicorn.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's good to be a unicorn, but it would be cool to see some more people, but you being the spearhead of it is really cool.
Well, give me a little bit. Taco's still starting. It's still
Yeah.
revving up. But at some point, we'll have replicated me a couple times. But to be fair, and to be fair, there are some pretty great people out there. I think my
Yeah.
shtick is that the pastor with pastoral experience who also has faced church hurt and understands how to run technology and also can do entertaining stuff. That mix, is pretty rare. But if you're looking
Yeah.
for any individual pocket, there's still lots of those guys out there. But thank you for having me. I
Yes.
really appreciate you let me be here. I had a lot of fun, and you're a very good interviewer.
Thank you. I appreciate you just dealing with me and my technical issues and my weird timing that you weren't sure about at first. But
Dude,
I do like
not
your
a
clock
single
friends
stream
though.
has
It's
been
really
done
cool.
without this. Okay, this is a friend. His name is Data God, and his passion is he's got a million passions, but one of them is Raspberry Pis. And so he every month he comes out with a new fun, cool thing that he invented. And so this thing is
Oh.
Twitch interactive. Like
Oh.
the it does stuff like when I'm on stream and whatnot. Like it's hard to keep going because Twitch keeps like changing things, and so he has to like manually alter the code to make it keep working. But it's this is a very fancy thing.
Yeah, and I know you have lights linked up to your stream and stuff when you're on your stream, and like when stuff
I love
happens, the lights
Lumia.
start. I'm like, whoa, I
I
need
love
to
it.
up my game.
Lumia, it's free. You can do Lumia for free. And you go to Walmart, like I got the bulbs, they're like $15 each. You could start
Nice.
super easy.
All right, I'll have to look into it, and I could message you later because I do know you have to go. So thank you once again, Christian
1000%.
Ninja, for joining my
Appreciate
stream.
it.
Have a blessed one and much success with your stream. Please go follow him so that you can make sure to get a notification when he goes live in a couple of minutes. All
All right.
right.
Later, dude.
Thank you. Have a blessed one. Bye. All right. So thank you guys so much for joining me on the stream today. And I appreciate you guys checking me out and checking out Christian Ninja. Sorry for the technical difficulties earlier. Sorry there wasn't really any music. There was so much going on. I was like, you know what? If I start the music, stuff is just going to blow up and my computer is just probably going to shut down. So thank you for bearing with me. Thank you for dropping by. Thank you to those who are watching this in the future because I am going to upload this to YouTube. So we can see if there's anybody that we can raid. And then I will probably have to jet for a moment. But once again, God bless and much success with all the stuff you're working on. Thank you so much for being there and for being you and for being awesome. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I am going to check. Is there anybody in the chat wants me to raid? If not, I will check to see who else is streaming. Oh, well, I see the Hoot House live stream is up, and if you don't know what that is, these are basically some owls. They just have cameras sitting up in the owl barn in the owl house so that you can just see the little owls, and I see that 2 of them are actually in the box right now. So we are going to go ahead and raid these cute little adorable owls. And thank you so much for being awesome. Like I said, I can't say it enough. God bless, much success. Sending prayers, love, and hugs your way. And hopefully I will be back on stream later today because we are finishing out NaNoWriMo, trying to get the last words for the last day of November. And my December schedule should be out very soon, so do stay tuned. Thank you so much. Love you guys so much, and bye.